to trust me now.
Hello, and thank you for joining us again. You don't have to be a child development expert to give your baby a great start in life. In fact, it's surprisingly simple and fun to support your baby's language development, physical and social development. There has been research done by the African American Babies Coalition about raising strong and healthy children, and information that will also be very helpful for the teaching of others. I'm very happy now to introduce to you today the Director of Early Childhood Initiatives, Samara Bilal Roby. Hi, Samara. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So as we know and we've learned that babies grow and they're learning new things at an astounding pace. They're like little sponges just sucking up all the things around them. The research you conducted back in October 2011 through May 2012 suggested some cultural differences as well as some important things about African American parents on nurturing. What is the mission and the purpose of the African American Babies Coalition?
Well, first I would like to say that the care and nurturing of a child is very universal across all cultural lines. What our mission was to take our community and help enhance their understanding of what research is. Because of some historical trauma with research, we felt that we needed to design research. We needed to present it to our community in a language, in a cultural context that they would understand, grasp, and embrace. So that was really our mission, was to find a way to enhance all the other learning outcomes that are being done in Minnesota and really look at behaviors that could affect children's learning.
Okay, and the coalition has also partnered up with the Wilder Foundation, who's supporting and funding this research. Can you explain to us more about what you've identified from this research?
Wilder is one of the funders, but they have been such a great partner with us. One of the things that we learned is that our community had a lot of skills. But what we needed to help them understand is some of the traditional, I don't want to say myths, but messages that were sent to us sometimes were not healthy. Okay. Our community really wants, like any other community, for their children to thrive. So we are looking at a way of bringing everybody together at a spot where they can get more information on research, where they can have discussions, forums, and then we have gone through 3 phases and we have 2 more phases to do.
Okay, and many of us have learned our parenting skills from our parents and would say they have been our greatest role models in our life.
Absolutely.
How is the coalition seeking the support of the African American parents, grandparents, and community members in particular?
One of the intents of this project was to first gather community and engage them from the bottom up. That was very, very important to us, that we weren't dictating to them what they should know, what they should do, that they would actually be partners with us also. Then we decided as a group and listening to our community that not only should the service providers have skills, or have the messages, but the grandparents should have these messages, community leaders should have these messages, parents should. So our intent was to pull the information and then to do training that they could take out in the community and support.
Okay, and it looks like your research team facilitated about 16 group discussions involving about 141 parents and caregivers.
That was the first phase, 141. Okay. We did forms, and they came from everywhere, every silo that you could think of. It could have been incarcerated parents, it could be grandparents, and then we did another 15 that is part, and you will see that, that's part of the campaign also.
Okay, let's take a moment to see what some of these people had to say in the research study.
Brains are built, not born.
Those that get love, give love. Those that don't often show that negativity. It's almost like a painting your walls black, you know, and having to wake up to those walls. Right. You're gonna wake up to in a negative mood. We learn as soon as we come out.
You know, when you have a little baby and they have a toy and it's a very bright toy or a ball, soon as you toss it or you throw it, they react to that. They smile, they giggle. So that's stimulating their brain and that's helping them to develop.
I think what's going on in your life prior to being pregnant plays a role.
When we had our own child, we had an idea what we want this human to be.
You can always talk to your baby and hold them while you're talking to them. They can feel you. They feel that nourishment from you.
See, it's a big difference about listening to your kids and understanding your kids.
Daddy, look.
I see.
One can really appreciate and understand the honesty of all these participants in the research study. I have to admit, when it comes to disciplining, I was always taught and told that you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Now, your work references trauma. Explain more about what you mean by this and why you believe this is so important to your community and why everyone should understand this in the community.
When we think about trauma-informed care, we're talking about violence, we're talking about not having housing, we're talking about not having food and clothing, we're talking about illnesses, and so we need to address all of those because they have an effect on how a child develops and how a child will develop very healthy. And so we want to touch teen parents up. So we don't just stop at infant and toddler, preschool. We're talking about all the way up. And adults understanding what trauma is.
Okay, and it's positive interactions described by your group participants that healthy nurturing are the elements to healthy brain development of raising of children. So tell me about the Brains Are Built campaign.
It's just a wonderful campaign. As I said, we went through different phases. Now we're at a phase of taking all that information. We're going to have our launching October 19th at the St. Paul College. It's invitation only because it's a small space. And that's where we'll launch out, do some news releases. We've got these wonderful bracelets that we want our participants to have and take and go out in the community. And then we're going to be doing the Healing Vessels form that will be in March, which is still built on Brains Are Built. You just don't have a baby. You continually build on that child's brain. It's a lifetime experience.
Well, you should be very proud of everything you've accomplished so far. So where should people go to if they want to learn more about supporting the healthy development of babies?
Well, they can contact me at 1-800-CHILDREN, or they can go to www.africanamericanbabies.org. And then we'll be there to help them. We will be putting everything in the community that we know of that can help them. Then we also will be tracking to make sure that when we do a reference that they are getting help. So there's plenty of ways, and then we'll have it in the communities.
Well, you've been a wonderful guest. Thank you very much. I know you're going to help very many couples who have children or who perhaps may be thinking of children. The African American Babies Coalition recognizes discrepancy in the access of parents and providers in the African American community to evidence-based research about healthy child development. To find out more information about the African American Babies Coalition, please go visit them at their website, or you can also give them a call at the number you see on the screen, 1-800-CHILDREN. Samara has shown us that with faith, hope, and love, we can accomplish anything in this world.